You know, most people think that tracking starts with footprints. It doesn't. Before you ever learn to follow tracks, before you want to follow another human being or an animal through this world around you, there's one skill you must learn first. And without it, no technique is going to help you. Hey, welcome back to Papa Todd. I appreciate you being here. I've been spending a lot of time outside recently, trying to get my tracking eyes back open. Because I got a class coming up. I'm going to be teaching some folks some stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. So I just wanted to get out and started thinking about all those years that I've spent tracking. You know, I've been doing a lot of wilderness survival stuff throughout my life. Lived on a farm. Construction has been a big part of my life. But I love wild places. And I've taken, you know, some advanced tracking courses, and I'm now teaching some human tracking courses because it's a little bit easier. Search and rescue guys, firemen, things like that. Love doing that, getting the word out there. And I realized that everything really kind of starts here, not with tracks, but with your mind and your awareness. And that calmness that I talk a lot about in my other videos is a big part of that. It's a big part of helping you keep things centered so that you can see things you haven't seen before. It's really kind of crucial because tracking's not about tracks. It's not about finding that perfect footprint. And 99% of the time, there's never a perfect footprint for you to follow. It's usually very little for you to see. So it's about noticing change. That's the key, especially if you continually visit the environment, it becomes much easier. But noticing the differences in one versus the other as far as track, color, sign, those signs are really the key. Something was one way and now it's different. That ability for your brain, your eye to recognize that is important. Why? Why did it change becomes the real driver when you're out there looking. If you can't see small changes, you can't follow a story. And most people walk right past hundreds of things every day, changes that are made every day right in front of you. And they just don't see it because there's no consequence. There's no reason to, right? You're not given much of any reason to in your life at all. But there is this one thing that spills over in your life. Training attention. What do I mean? The one thing you got to learn first is how to hold your own attention. This world's full of distractions. I get it. We're scrolling, we're doing all kinds of things, right? And we can barely hold our glance for longer than a second or two anymore. So when we look at things, it can't just be a glance. It's not just, I scanned over it real fast. You actually need to stay with a piece of ground long enough for the details to emerge. They have to appear to you. You have to be looking hard enough to make that visible in your life. I'm metaphoring this a little bit too much, but it's how tracking works. So when I look at this environment here on the ground, I can go down and I can see many, many things that have transpired right here in a long period of time. And I can tell when before or after these things happened. So tracking rewards my patience in learning these things. And tracking also can punish you if you're in a hurry, especially if there's a lot at risk with your ability to track. So why do I think modern men struggle with the ability to track? Well, we've lived in this world that's trained us to skim over everything, right? Just fast track it. We want fast reward. We want to, cut corners, right? Scroll, swipe, move on. We don't stop to take time. Maybe in some trades, some men have taken the time to really become a master at what they do, and that's great. It's honorable. It's what it should be. But getting out and starting to track kind of demands the opposite. It demands humility. You're forced to slow down. You have to. You can admit that you don't see everything just yet, and that's uncomfortable for a lot of men. But that discomfort, that's where the growth starts. Instead of shying away from that discomfort or feeling like I don't want to face it. It's not that hard. It's not a fear level that escalates to a point where you can't begin to do something different. And I'll tell you, these awareness exercises that I would invite you to do, get out and follow. Pick something small, a little piece of ground. You can even do this, near your home. You don't have to get way out in the middle of nowhere to make this happen. But just pick a piece of ground and go stand still. Stay as still as long as you can. And you'll notice a lot of things begin to happen around you because you were that pebble thrown into that pond. You want to let those ripples calm down and things will start to come alive around you. You'll start to be aware of a lot of different things. And that's where the awareness starts, noticing those little things. Could be some birds, could be some squirrels, but give it a little bit of time, a natural amount of time. You feel like, okay, I'm settled in. And then start asking your questions like, what broke the pattern? What looks disturbed here? What looks different? What doesn't belong here, maybe? That's the beginning of interpretation. You're interpreting at that point, right? You're not just noticing, you're noticing and interpreting at the same time. That's the foundation. The questions should start to bubble up in your mind. What made that happen, right? I enjoy this time out here, and I love talking about manhood and things like that to help men try to get to a certain point in their life where they feel comfortable. So why am I talking about tracking? How this connects to manhood is a little unique. And I say that because a man who can't really hold his attention outside often misses what's happening inside his own life. Awareness makes you harder to surprise, okay? It's something that makes you so aware that you're kind of slow to react because you want to make sure you're capturing everything that's happening in your life, not just one thing to respond to. You want to look for those things to respond to, and therefore you're quicker to kind of understand what's going on in your life. You don't have to speak first. You can sit there, absorb it, determine those things that you are able to learn. And so tracking is very similar to that. And so I'm using these classes kind of as a bridge, right? I think, it's going to be second week of January, going to be down around the Little Rock area. And hopefully we'll get enough traction. We can do some advanced classes later, dive deeper, because a one-day course, I don't want it to feel like a fire hose, right? And we want to build on that a little bit and be able to find the people who kind of are hooked on it a little bit and got a little fire in their belly and want to learn more. We can do a 3-day course and a little bit more advanced. But I think for those who might be attending or want to attend, I think if you start training your awareness now, everything we do in person will start to appear, similar to a track. If you start slowing down a little bit, you're going to start being more aware of the things going on around you in your life. So before you learn to track humans down, you got to learn some things, and that's slow down, look longer, and notice the change. The unique thing is that you look down right now, I can see the world's been speaking this whole time. And you can just move from this spot to the next, and you can see where it's been speaking again, over and over and over. And even though that dirt comes along and the wind comes along and erodes that and covers those things up, you can literally, and I've done it and I've seen it done many times, you can literally pull back the dirt and expose that very history still there, locked in time. So when you can expose the truth of yourself about your previous life, your tracks that you've left in your life, and you can see those things in your life, and you can calm down, slow down, take the time to see things will begin to appear in your life. So I hope this helps you kind of get back on track in life potentially, and maybe get interested in getting outside and seeing some things in nature and beginning to see what awareness really is in life. Please like and subscribe. If you liked anything you heard today, I'd appreciate it. It's a free thing to do, and it helps my channel and helps me continue to do more content like this. And I look forward to seeing you back again. Have a wonderful day.